The provinces of Donetsk and Luhanks proclaimed their independence in 2014, following a military coup in Kiev to eradicate the Russian culture in the country. The stories we are about to show retell the experiences of some of these people and how they now aspire to be a part of the Russian Federation. Our special envoy in the Donbas, Alejandro Kirk, has the details.
Who would have ever imagined that this modest country road could lead to the meeting of a historic planetary breakthrough? It is the gateway to the Donbas, the plain between the Dnieper and Don rivers in Ukraine, part of what was first the Russian Empire and then the Soviet Union. The industrial and mining provinces of Donetsk and Luhanks proclaimed independence from Ukraine in 2014, following a coup d'etat in Kiev by nationalist forces intent on eradicating Russian culture from the country. More than 70% of the population here is ethnic Russian. Resistance has cost more than 14,000 lives in the past 8 years, mostly civilians, due to the constant shelling by neo-Nazi battalions embedded in the country's military. This is a story that does not exist for the powerful Western media. These are lives with no exchange value. On 21st of February, the Russian army put an end to this state of affairs. Destruction and death are the real face of a war. These people are now receiving food from the Russian military. Here, on this destroyed street in the village of Volonovya, we have now a destroyed hospital made famous by the Western narrative as evidence of Russian barbarism. The story told here is quite different. The hospital was used as a human shield.
On the 24th, when this Armageddon started, we had 270 patients in the hospital in the morning. We came to work on the 24th and practically stayed at work for 18 days providing medical care, day and night to our patients and to those in need. During this, let's say, Armageddon, to say the least, we have 6 deliveries. We've delivered 6 babies. We've had stroke patients, trauma patients, infant patients. We have assisted injured surgical patients, therapeutic patients, those who have had heart attacks. We had the Ukrainian military here. I argued that the Hague and Geneva conventions apply here. I asked the military to stay away from the hospital. They said no. This is war. Here there were tanks on the ground. Behind the grounds there were guns and missiles. Well, here we are now to see where it takes us.
Everyone knew that it was a hospital, that there were sick people lying in the corridors while they were being evacuated. That's all. However, it was reported that there was no one in the hospital, neither staff nor patients, and that's the biggest lie of all. I wish I could. Here I am now listening to it on television, just like the president, the Nazi. The Nazi speaks and says they are doing well there. I would like to invite him to come and stay with me.
This is Shakhty in Lugansk, recaptured by Russian forces and people's militias in early March. Another example of Russia's cruelty, described from a distance by the Western media. Here, in reality, there was hell during 8 years of neo-Nazi battalion rule. The inhabitants themselves tell the story.
Look at our flourishing factory, the flourishing factory that we had. The factory here was happiness. And look what remains thanks to the Aydar battalion. Here is the concrete plant. Look at the foundations. And here they are, those same foundations, all of them. I can even give you these pictures if anyone is interested in what we had left. How come we were left without the factories, all destroyed by the Aydar battalion?
The Western media, which for more than a century built the myth of serious, objective and unbiased journalism, lost all sanity. At this very moment in this town, there is a group of them. What would they say about what they have seen?
It might seem strange, but I have been taking pictures of what goes into the boxes and bags, because the predictable Western response will be that they are empty, but they contain a variety of proteins, vegetables, chocolate, even water obviously, and that's not going to be reported in Western media. Or they will say this is just a stage, you know?
In front of the government palace in Lugansk, a monument commemorates 2 local journalists killed by Ukrainian forces in 2014. There were no headlines for them in the Western media. In Donetsk, The city has also built a monument to its murdered children, angel squares, as it is called.
We now stand on an improvised promenade of angels, with a plaque engraved with the names of all the children who died in the armed coup in Kiev in 2014, after which the Donetsk People's Republic was shelled by Ukrainian troops, killing those children. The figure so far stands at 91 children under the age of 18. The Ukrainian army attacked residential areas, parks, schools, and many other places. In particular, I can tell you about several cases of children who were just playing football. They were doing what they were supposed to do. All of them were hit by a shell at that time, and unfortunately, they died.
After the end of the conflict, leaders of these two republics hope to join the Russian Federation. The majority of the population seems to share this aim, according to a referendum held in 2014.
Today, the Donetsk People's Republic is an independent sovereign state recognized by the Russian Federation, recognized by South Ossetia, and recognized by Abkhazia. Several other countries intend to follow this path as well, so we start from that. But if you ask any of us who live here, our greatest wish is to be as close as possible to Russia, ideally as part of it, but all in due time. I see our republic unequivocally as part of the Russian Federation, and I believe that the future of the republic will definitely be happy and prosperous. We will do everything possible for this. We have all the resources to do so. We have very fertile lands, we have very rich natural resources, and we have very hardworking people. So now the most important thing is to defeat those fascists who are entrenched in Ukraine, and I am confident that we will do well as part of the Russian Federation.
This school in Donetsk was hit by a Ukrainian shell in recent days. There were no students inside, but the effect is obvious. A soldier found a piano in the school's stateroom. The call is to sing to the barricades, which is the historical anthem of the world proletariat.
Alejandro Kerk y Cristian Inostroza, TeleSUR, Donbas.